In today's video, I'm going to teach you Making a Sprint in ClickUp 2026 Walkthrough. By the end, you'll know exactly how to turn on the right features, set up your sprint workspace, and start managing tasks within sprints confidently, all using the latest ClickUp interface. Let's begin inside your ClickUp workspace. Make sure you're in the correct workspace for the team or project you want to manage. If you belong to multiple organizations, it's worth a quick glance at the top or left side of your screen to confirm you're in the right place before making changes. This ensures any sprint settings you enable land where your team actually works. Next, open the Apps area. In most layouts, you'll find apps from your workspace or space settings. Think of apps as ClickUp's feature switchboard. This is where you turn on specialized tools you'll use during sprints. In the search bar, type Sprint and Sprint Points. You want both to appear so you can enable them together. First, click on Sprints. You'll see an option to enable the Sprint app. Turn it on. Don't worry, this toggle is reversible, so if you're experimenting or testing in a sandbox space, you can disable it later without affecting other areas. With Sprints enabled, you can choose which spaces will use this feature. Add as many spaces as you like, or keep it limited to one focused team while you test and learn. A good tip is to enable sprints only where work naturally groups into short, time-boxed cycles, like software development, content production, or marketing campaigns, so your sprint views stay relevant and uncluttered. Now, search for Sprint Points and open that app as well. You'll notice the navigation looks familiar. Enable Sprint Points, and you'll see the available estimation options. ClickUp supports a variety of point scales, so teams can estimate task complexity in a way that fits their style. If you're new to this, pick a simple scale to start. You'll see values like 1, 2, 3, and more. Go ahead and select a middle value such as 3 to get a feel for it. You're not locking your team into one final choice here. You can refine your scale as you learn how your estimates compare to actual effort. Once both sprints and sprint points are on, head back to your main workspace view. You'll now be able to navigate your sprint setup and manage where sprints live. ClickUp organizes sprint work into a sprint folder, which acts like a container for your active and upcoming sprints. Click into the sprint folder to see your structure. Here, you'll typically find lists for each sprint cycle, often named by date range or sprint number. This structure gives you a clean place to add and review work that's scoped for the current time box. Inside your sprint folder or active sprint list, begin adding tasks. You can add as many as you need, but keep the scope realistic for the duration you've chosen. If you've enabled sprint points, assign a point value to each task to reflect complexity or effort. Points help you plan capacity and forecast how much work you can commit to in the next sprint. A helpful rule of thumb is to keep tasks small enough to complete within a few days. Large items can be split, so progress is visible and momentum stays high. As you add and organize tasks, you'll notice how easy it is to manage sprints from your main workspace sidebar. Hover over your workspace sections to jump to your sprint folder quickly. This is where you'll move between upcoming and active sprints, add or adjust tasks on the fly, and review progress as your team works through the sprint. If you need to pause sprints in a specific space or test something new, just return to Apps and toggle sprints off or on for that space. The flexibility here means you can adopt sprints at your own pace without disrupting other teams. A few practical tips as you get rolling. Start with a short sprint length if you're new. 1 or 2 weeks helps you learn fast and adjust. Keep your estimations simple until your team builds a rhythm with points. Be consistent with naming conventions in your sprint folder so it's obvious which sprint is active and what's next. And as you review tasks, encourage clear descriptions and owners. This keeps stand-ups and sprint reviews focused, and it reduces back and forth during the sprint. If you're experimenting with the point scale, That earlier selection of a value like 3 is simply a way to test how points feel